you should quit trying. You were too small, that you were too young. They tell you the chance is too slim, the world is too big, but you say how come? I'm ready to light a new fire, raise a new flag across a new sea. And if I'm ever the one in your way, then put your head down and run right through me. So why keep settling for so much less? Don't take what's given, just demand what's next. We're looking for an open door.
Alright, hope you guys can hear me. I'm gonna turn on music, sorry. Okay, oh my god, my camera. Hold on a second. Sorry. Let me fix my camera here. There we go. Now we're looking better. Alright. Get prepared for not the most positive stream in the world. I'm just gonna say that. Alright, thank you, Calvin. I'm not very happy with this Bulls offense right now. This offense was awful tonight. This was not good. We're gonna talk a lot about why the Raptors were a pretty awful opponent to face for the Bulls, because it kind of like it basically just like hid all the Bulls' problems on offense. Because the Raptors, unfortunately, if you look at last year's numbers for the Raptors and kind of just everything with the Raptors last year, their offense also sucked last year. And they brought back a very similar, not the same, similar personnel or core group of guys. They obviously lost Fred VanVleet, which honestly I think losing Fred VanVleet makes their offense even worse. So this just, it's not about, again, I don't care about the end results of preseason games. I just want to see things look good for the Bulls and see that they're actually improving on the offensive end. And I thought, you know, the first game was a really good direction the Bulls were heading. I thought the second game, the first quarter was good, the second quarter was bad, and that's kind of where like we ended with the starters at that point. Third game didn't really count because the starters didn't play. This game was bad. Okay, this game overall for the Bulls was pretty awful on the offensive end. And it's masked by like the Bulls kind of staying in the game, you know. The Bulls were pretty much in this game the entire way, even though they were like down by 3 points for like a good portion of the time. So it's like, oh, we're always in the game. That's good. But like I said, the Raptors offense also is garbage, like pure garbage. So it doesn't make me feel good that this Bulls offense did not perform well at all. Made 42 more shots than the Toronto Raptors. They shot 16 more shots than the Toronto Raptors tonight, and they only put up 102 points. That's awful. That is just straight disgusting, and it's awful to see by this Bulls team. And I hate to say it, but this looked like a last year type of game from the Bulls on the offensive end. This straight up looked like last year, just out of the you know, pick a game from last year, and the Bulls didn't even get to 110 mark. Just pick a game. It was like this game tonight. There are some positives I'm going to talk about, but unfortunately, the film review tonight is going to be where the Bulls passed up on 3-point shots. There were a lot of 3-point shots, in my opinion, the Bulls passed up on that they need to take. I understand that a lot of people, especially in Chicago, think that some of these shots I'm going to point out here are not good shots. But in my opinion, these are the shots that everybody else in the NBA is taking. And if you're going to be talking about changing your shot profile and saying that you got to keep up with the rest of the NBA, then you got to take these shots. You just straight up have to. The rest of the NBA takes these shots, and these are good shots according to them. So don't just think that because your Bulls team is not taking a shot that you think is not a good shot to take, that they're doing the right thing. They're probably doing the wrong thing, actually, especially from the 3-point line. So I'm going to go ahead and like put that on the back burner for later, but we're going to look into the box score just a little bit here, and then talk about some of the problems that this Bulls team continues just to show. And honestly, man, unless I don't even know who the Bulls play next. I'm like, okay, they play the Timberwolves next. So the Bulls, I'm just gonna say the Bulls in this game, they better show me a much better offense, or else I'm gonna go head into the season thinking that this offense is basically gonna be the same as last season. That's not good. That's straight up not good. That's really not good for me to be saying. After seeing at least what I thought was progress in the first 2 games of the preseason, and now we're seeing this, and I think the Bulls just reverted back to what they were last season. So, couple of things before we get into the film review. Thank you for all of you that are hanging out with me tonight on a Tuesday night in the middle of the night. Suffering a Bulls loss, unfortunately, but I appreciate you all being here, and hope you guys enjoy the stream as we go through this, or if you're watching the VOD. I truly appreciate what your support and everything, and if you guys could, make sure to hit that like button on the stream. It helps me out a ton. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. We're less than 100 away, so we're almost there when it comes to hitting that subscribe, or getting to the subscriber mark we need. But let's go through this, because this was not good from this Bulls team. So I'm gonna start with the positive. The positive is that Zach LaVine looks fantastic and has looked pretty much great throughout the entire preseason. So no worries there, honestly. I'm very happy to see Zach is honestly looking the healthiest he has been in the past 2.5 seasons. This is really good. Zach is doing exactly what I want him to do. Let's just do a quick look at the shot chart, because this is pretty much what I want to see from a lot of guys, and I've consistently said that Zach LaVine is the definition of a modern day player, and we got it right. So if you want definition of modern day player, here you go. Zach took 19 shots tonight, and as you can see, 16 out of the 19 shots were either from the 3-point line, right? Here's the 3-point line, and here, or in the paint, and I'm gonna count this one too. Oh no, sorry, I'm not gonna count that one. Let's revert off of that. Okay, so you see here these 2 shots. I won't lie, I wasn't too happy with them, but because LaVine's gonna be taking volume of shots, I'm not upset at all. But when you look at, pretty much 16 out of his 19 shots were basically what we want to see from any sort of modern day player. That's perfect, and I'm not shocked that Zach took 19 shots and got 25 points. So that's very, very efficient from him. Obviously, he shot 52% from the field. He shot 8 threes in 30 minutes. So if he played 36 minutes, I hope that number is 10 from the 3-point line, which is great. So Zach LaVine, yet again in preseason, looked fantastic. I'm very excited to see how well he plays in the regular season, because I do think that this is the healthiest we have seen Zach in the last 2.5 years. And it truly does help, as you can see, when you do have like a full offseason, that when you're healthy. And Zach LaVine obviously went into this offseason healthy, wasn't having to rehab for anything, and it pays off, right? It sincerely pays off when you're going to the offseason healthy. You can just really work on your conditioning and really refine your game. And Zach, I mean, his finishing at the rim honestly looks better than last season, and he had a career year finishing at the rim last year. So I think he's just going to be an absolute monster in terms of finishing at the rim this upcoming season, and that's fantastic from him. And that means honestly he was one of the best guards already finishing at the rim, and he's just going to get better. So that's fantastic to see. 8 3-point shots, that's good. I would have liked to see a little bit more threes early on, but he got to the 8 mark in 30 minutes, which is good. At bare minimum, he should be taking 8 a game. Obviously, he didn't play a full game, so if he did play a full game, then I expect that to be like 10 threes. So that's obviously good to see. I think this was a big game for Nikola Vucevic, just to kind of see how he fits in the offense. This to me, what we saw. Oh, that's not Vuce. Sorry, this is Vuce. This to me, honestly, is what I think Nikola Vucevic is going to be in this sort of offense that we're trying to go into. We saw, I think, a total of 4 post-ups today, which was not to my liking. We'll get into that in a little bit. But a lot of his shots, honestly, were just off the pick and roll. Like, he was just getting pick and roll opportunities, and then he also had 5 offensive rebounds that he was just going, putting it up and in. So this is how Vooch is going to have to get most of his points. And you see here, he took 13 shots, he scored 20 points. Like, that's very efficient, and this is the way I want to see Vooch used in this sort of offense, and not taking the mid-range shot. He only took 1 3. I think he could have taken more, but if he's not going to be shooting the 3, then I want all of his shots in the paint. And if you look at his game chart, right, most of his shots were in the paint. And this is really solid to see. So what I consider paint is honestly anything in this area for him, because he does have that little floater that I like. This was 100% a post fadeaway that was not necessary to take. I'm not going to count this one because this was the end of the shot clock situation that was not his fault. I don't like this shot, unfortunately. So he took, in my opinion, 2 unnecessary mid-range shots, 1 out of the post, but you know, most of his shots were in the paint and that 1-3. So pretty good overall game from Vooch. Good to see him have a really solid game. Unfortunately, that's kind of where it all ends for the positivity. I'm going to give another shout out to Kobe White because I do think that he showed a lot still, even though he had a pretty sloppy game of 5 turnovers. But that's kind of it for me in this game. I don't think this Bulls team really played that well defensively, and I also don't think this Bulls team at all on the offensive end did anything good. Unless you're talking about these 2 guys here, the Bulls on offense, in my opinion, they just straight up sucked. Not enough threes taken, and we're looking at 26 threes taken. We were on pace to shoot 26 threes at halftime. So even with like the normal lineup playing, this Bulls team was on pace to shoot 26 threes for the game, and they shot 13 threes at halftime. That's just straight up inexcusable. You cannot be shooting 13 threes at halftime. You need to, at bare minimum, have taken 16 threes, in my opinion, at halftime. Ideally, that number is 20. But to see them shoot only 13 threes by halftime is straight up a problem for this team. And I sincerely hated to see that. And I hope that does not continue. Now, the one thing that I've always said, if you're not going to shoot the 3, you got to get to the paint. The Bulls did that. They had 56 points in the paint. Even before some of the third stringers started to come in, they were attacking the paint all game. So I'll give them that. But when we just take a quick look at the game chart, man, like it doesn't look good. Like what is all of this? This makes no sense. I don't understand why this Bulls team is taking so many shots in this area. And even just looking like a quick look at this game chart, you're just like, why would they even shoot from there, right? I mean, you see all these X's from these areas, and you're just like, yeah, don't shoot from there because it looks like you're a bad mid-range shooting team, and the Bulls are typically a good mid-range shooting team. But like, this is the reason why you stay away from the mid-range. If you're gonna miss all these shots, miss it from the 3-point line. Don't miss it from mid-range. And they just clearly did not get into the paint. I guess I should say that. They got into the paint enough, I'll say, considering that they did not shoot enough threes. But it's just disappointing to see, because I thought this Bulls offense was moving in the right direction. They just clearly aren't really not doing that. What's going on, Patrick? Good to see you. What's going on, Tara? Good to see you. Thank you, Tara. I appreciate the compliment. What's this Derek Favors stuff? Is he even gonna get minutes? So what Billy Donovan said with the Derek Favors signing is that they plan on having him play in the G League. Derek Favors was already kind of on track to go and play in the G League anyway, so that's not very different from what his game plan was. So it looks like he's gonna go play for the Windy City Bulls. I'll get to Derek Favors in a little bit here, honestly, because I know some people are interested about him, but my initial reaction to it all was like, I don't know how the Bulls keep him on the roster. I straight up don't know how they do it unless they're gonna be willing to go into the tax. But clearly they're not gonna go into the tax because they're just gonna have Derek Favors playing the Windy City Bulls. So he's not on the active roster. So the way you do that with if you want a player to be on the Windy City Bulls before the season starts, you have to like give him a contract and then you have to waive him pretty much, basically. So they gave him the training camp deal. He's going to come in and he might play in that game against the Timberwolves on Thursday. I sincerely doubt it though, but he's going to probably go and practice with the Bulls for the rest of this week. And then right before the season starts, he's going to get waived. So the last team to have his rights basically were the Bulls. So he's going to go play for the Windy City Bulls. So that's the plan for Derek Favors. I'm not too shocked by it. I honestly would like to have Derek Favors on this current squad, but due to financial constraints, he is not going to be able to get on here unless the Bulls are going into the tax. And at that point, you're going to the tax by like less than $1 million. So is it worth it? Probably not. Makes a lot of sense that the Bulls are going to do that, honestly. So good pickup overall. Good to see CB play for the Windy City Bulls, and I hope that he plays well down there. So that's the story with Derek Favors. Unfortunately, it's not anything too big, which I didn't even comment it on Twitter because I knew that wasn't too big of a thing. So yeah, that's the Derek Favors story. So back to this stuff here. Just take note of this. The Bulls shot 26 threes. The Raptors shot 31. The Raptors shot 38 free throws. So if you just look at this, the Raptors shot more threes and more free throws than the Bulls shot threes. It just can't happen, man. It just straight up cannot happen. It's just so bad just to see that, unfortunately. Man, people's possessions in the first part of the game were bad. I 100% agree with you, and I'm unfortunately going to be harping on P. Will this game. I hate to say it, but it's just... I need to see better. I just straight up have to see better, and... how many times have I said this on this channel, whether it's in a video or on stream? Patrick Williams, right now, at least for his game currently, he is a better shooter than he is a finisher at the rim. Okay? I would much rather him just be jacking up threes than having him try to actually go to the basket constantly, because I trust his three-point shooting a lot more than his finishing right now. And just some of his decisions tonight, it's like, the funny thing is, it's like, if he just shot the three-point shot, I would not be upset with his decisions. He could have went 4 for 13 tonight and shot 10 threes and missed 8 of them, and I would not care. Like, I'd be happy with him shooting 10 threes tonight and going 4 for 13. I would have been so happy with that. But it's because he decides to drive on some of these possessions where I'm just like, you don't need to drive the basketball there. And the whole catch and think stuff is coming back to his head. It's like, I don't understand why he just makes the harder decision at all times. It really makes me upset when I see it. So I hope this is not the case for Patrick Williams going to the season. I understand that he had a good game against Denver when he was like the main option out there, and such, but you know, he's trying to fit in with the starters now. But like, this is the reason why a lot of people are saying start Torrey Craig, and I'm starting to lean towards that right now, because it just doesn't seem like Pat is like willing to shoot the basketball when he needs to, when the big three are out there. And I'm just talking about from three. Like, I just want him shooting threes, but instead he's like, I need to drive it for some reason. I don't know why. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me, honestly. The Bulls suck right now, but I understand the system put in place. Well, the thing is, Zay, is that this new system that they're trying to implement into the offense right now, we didn't see any of it tonight. That's the reason why the Bulls sucked in this game. It's because they didn't play the new system, or at the very least, they didn't do the bare minimum of, you know, looking to shoot the three ball when at all opportunities possible, right? Like, that to me is the biggest thing. It's like, yeah, the system, like we ran similar offensive sets that we're kind of used to, but it just seemed like guys were hesitant to shoot the three ball for some reason. I don't understand it. I need to see better from this team to just shoot the three ball when possible, instead of what we saw tonight with a lot of hesitation to shoot the three ball, including from some of the guys that I'm like, I've never known you for being hesitant to shoot the three ball. Like Javon Carter, for example, and he like passed up like 3 threes tonight, in my opinion. It's insane just to see this from this team, and I'm really upset about it, because I don't have any confidence right now going into the game against OKC on opening night, because I think we're just going to get crushed by OKC. I straight up do right now, if this is the offense that's going to be showing up every single night. So there just has to be a lot better play, a lot better decision making, and a better emphasis on shooting the threes. 26 threes in an NBA game is straight up unacceptable at this moment in time. It is 2023. We're heading into 2024 soon. You cannot be shooting 26 threes in a game. And I understand this is preseason, but this is straight up just bad. And I'm not happy. I'm really not happy by this Bulls team. So, yeah, just simple stuff, honestly. Other stuff I'll mention before I get into my my film breakdown stuff. It's gonna be interesting what's gonna happen with DeRozan, because I can clearly tell with DeRozan he's trying to shoot the three ball more, and I truly appreciate that he's doing it, right? But I'm also seeing like he is just clearly not much as much in a rhythm early on in the game as he's probably used to, and so it's kind of affecting, you know, some shots later in the game, because we saw DeRozan in that fourth quarter, which I've always said, like, the first 3 quarters for the Bulls, they have to play more modern. Like, if the fourth quarter is gonna be, you know, iso ball, mid-range, post up, fine, I don't care, because the fourth quarter, in general, the fourth quarter just slows down, right? So that it would be the time to go ahead and take the mid-range shots and go iso ball, because the fourth quarter is basically that across the NBA, right? But the first 3 quarters, though, it just seems like DeRozan just isn't really much of a rhythm. And then in the fourth quarter, when he tried to get it going, he just was missing his typical shots, right? So it's going to be a very interesting thing to watch with DeRozan this year, because I'm sure that he got very used to taking a bulk of the shots in both halves last season, and I think that's just not going to happen this year. And he's going to have to save most of his shots for the fourth quarter, and can he get it going at that point in the fourth quarter, honestly? And what's going to be his impact in the first 3 quarters then? Because I just don't know what's really his impact right now, because I'm going to show you a play later on where I'm like, this is the reason why I've been kind of saying trade DeRozan, because it doesn't make much sense for him to be out there on the court. But we'll get into that later on. Javon Carter and Torrey Craig basically showed you why these two guys were brought here. I thought Carter did turn down some threes, but he was playing honestly like himself, especially defensively, and he tried to shoot a pull-up 3, ended up being a 2, unfortunately. And Torrey Craig is showing why he should honestly start. That chase down block was incredible, but then also just his ability to just have a knack for the ball. Offensive rebound with 3, right? You just saw with Torrey Craig how much of an impact that he has. And this was pointed out in the middle of the game. Torrey Craig played 26 minutes, and then Patrick Williams finished with 21, but that was before Patrick Williams actually checked in in the fourth quarter to finish the game, right? And all I'm going to say is that might be kind of an indicator of what's to come, because I already thought that with kind of how Billy was doing his rotation, that Torrey Craig probably is going to be closing the game, right? Like I was just kind of seeing that, because Torrey Craig was closing the first half with the starters in the first couple of preseason games, right? But I would not be shocked come Thursday Torrey Craig's in the starting lineup, and I would also not be shocked come on opening night that he's also in the starting lineup. So just putting that out there, because I don't think Torrey Craig is supposed to play 26 minutes tonight and play more than Patrick Williams, but that's what happened. So interesting thing to look at. All I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, interesting stuff, because who knows? Honestly, who knows what's gonna happen here? Okay. Honestly, I honestly just want to get to the film, because there's a lot I want to go over a lot here, unfortunately, because it's one of those games for this Bulls team. Let me know if the music's too loud. I did sort of turn it up a little bit, so just let me know if the volume's good or bad. Sorry, I'm trying to load up my recording here, and what we're gonna do here is you're gonna hear a noise, unfortunately, and this is the game loading. Okay, sorry about that. We're gonna watch the first play of the game, because this is where the problems automatically started for this Bulls team, unfortunately. So let's watch this, and let's just kind of go over what we're typically used to here on this channel, and let me explain some of my problems that I have. Okay, so that's the foul. I remember this. Okay, let's watch this. All right, so this is typical Bulls offense from what we've seen so far in the preseason. Okay, you throw it to Vooch here. Let me increase this, and then we're gonna go to the white color. Okay, so you throw the ball to Vooch here at the top of the key. You're gonna see someone either with Patrick. He's gonna set a screen for Zach, or he's gonna cut down here. And most likely, because this is the off ball or it's the weak side action, you're gonna see Vooch come over here for a handoff for Kobe. Like, you just kind of see the options at play here for this Bulls team, right? So here's the handoff to Kobe, right? Okay, this is good. Like, this is all stuff that I'm like, I like this sort of actions. Okay, you're in the middle of the set. You're gonna do a pick and roll here on the side. This is good, and you have 1, 2, 3 shooters on the weak side of the floor. Okay, I like this a lot. This clears out this side completely, so there's no help defense coming in, right? This is all good. I like this a lot. But we watch this play. Okay, this is good. Okay, right here, ladies and gentlemen, right here, I understand this was a high pass. Okay, this isn't the best pass in the world, but in my opinion, Patrick Williams, shoot it. I genuinely do not care if a dude is charging at you, you know, to try to either run you off the 3-point line or try to block your shot or just contest your shot. I don't care. Okay, shoot the ball. Because not only is this the best shot that I know that you're going to make, okay, in your game currently, because this is the one thing that I can rely with you on, right? I know that you can shoot the ball. I know you can hit this shot. You're a 42% three-point shooter. Shoot it. But it's not just that part. It's also that there's 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Okay? Like, it just makes no sense in my mind for him to even think about driving this ball or even hesitating. Catch this, shoot it. I understand Siakam's running at you. I genuinely do not care, because you have a jump shot that is very effective for this team. And how many times have we seen with this team that someone hesitates on a three-point shot when they probably should have taken it because that's the best shot they're going to get in the possession, but also just because of three-point shot volume. This is the reason why this Bulls team only took 26 threes tonight, because they turned down stuff like this tonight. I don't understand why he didn't shoot it, and then you drive it, okay? Now there's 2 seconds left on the shot clock. You drive into a wall. Why? Like, it just makes no sense for you to even think about driving this basketball. And yet, Patrick Williams runs through a wall, gets his shot blocked. They're on the break, okay? What are we doing? That makes no sense. It genuinely does. Just it makes no sense for Patrick Williams to turn down that shot. I was very much pissed when I saw that. I even tweeted it out. That was like, that's inexcusable. All right, 8:20, because this is the next play. That was like, hey, instead of doing what we saw, we need to shoot the ball. Okay. Let's watch this play. Okay. So this was off of a miss, I believe, for the Raptors. Okay, DeRozan's coming down the floor, and you throw out to Vooch, and you throw it here. Guys, okay, hello, that's highlighter. Sorry, excuse me. There's no one within like 20 feet of Torrey Craig. Exaggeration. There's no one within like 8 feet of him. I understand that this is much farther out, but why are we looking to pass? Shoot it. Like, I don't get it. And then he decides to pass it to Zach, and he steps out of bounds. Like, this is the stuff that the reason why the Bulls didn't shoot enough threes tonight. We saw Pat pass up on that three early, and he decided to drive when he shouldn't. Torrey, very open three-point shot, decided not to take it. Like, I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. You gotta shoot the basketball. Shoot it, please, when you're wide open. I don't care that Torrey Craig is not like right at the three-point line. That's like a 28-footer or whatever it is. He can very easily make that shot. Shoot it. And if not, then take a step in, because there's nobody within 8 feet of you. Okay? Shoot the basketball. You wouldn't have turned it over, and I would much rather just see them miss a three than turn the basketball over. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Shoot the ball, please. For the love of God. I just don't get it. And then let's watch this play. Okay? Like, this is the first play, I think. Yeah, this is the first play in the third quarter. I was like, what the hell, people? Like, this is inexcusable from what we're seeing from the Bulls. Okay? Like, I don't want to be this sort of dude, but this is the reason why this Bulls team, I have major concerns about them actually changing their offense this upcoming season, because this is the stuff that really concerns me. All right, so this is the defensive play. We're not gonna watch this. Okay, let's watch this play, because I initially think the action's fine. I think the action's perfectly fine, and the play call is perfectly fine by Billy Donovan. Like, I don't have an issue with this in general play call. So this is just a simple handoff. You throw it to DeRozan. Okay, this is fine. And usually we see Patrick kind of clear out through here, and instead of doing that, he decides, hey, I'm gonna come over and set a screen for Zach. Vooch is gonna come over here and also set a screen for Zach. Zach's gonna come up here. I'm like, okay, I like this a lot. Getting Zach off ball, off some pin downs, right? Unfortunately, Pat doesn't set a good enough screen, in my opinion, and then this happens. So Zach catches the ball, and Scotty Barnes is all over him. So he didn't get any separation. Ideally, Zach just shoots this, but he clearly doesn't have any separation from Scotty, so no reason to shoot it, right? And so the biggest thing about Zach is that he can still somehow get an angle on this and drive, and so he actually does just that, and he decides to drive. And I'm like, hey, this is good. Now, he passes this out to DeRozan here, and this in my head, I'm thinking, shoot the ball. Shoot the ball, shoot the ball, shoot the ball, shoot the ball, shoot the ball. Because This is a wide open 3-point shot, but because it's DeMar DeRozan out here, he doesn't shoot it. He decides, well, I'm going to pass this up because he's not a comfortable 3-point shooter, and I get it, but this is the reason why I'm like in my head, I'm kind of thinking like this. I don't know about DeRozan with this team, especially with this new offense that they're trying to do. Like, this is a problem, and instead of him shooting this shot, he throws it over to Vooch. Okay, and watch this. Okay, in my opinion, I think Vooch can also take this shot. I honestly think that Nikola Vucevic, like, if DeRozan's not going to shoot it, then Vooch has to shoot this because he's a better 3-point shooter and he's taking a lot more. And I don't think Chris Boucher is honestly close enough for a closeout on him. He can also shoot this ball, but instead he decides to throw it over to Patrick Williams here. And at this point, no one's open, so you decide to run a pick and roll on the side. 7 seconds left in the shot clock now, and Patrick Williams decides, I'm going to shoot a 17-foot mid-range shot. So instead of shooting 2 open 3-point shots on the possession, you get a 17-foot mid-range shot at the end of a shot clock. This is the reason why this Bulls team shot 26 threes tonight. And it's straight up inexcusable to see this from them. This is bad. And DeRozan should have shot his 3. Vooch should have shot his 3 after that extra pass. And honestly, I'm not going to blame Patrick Williams on this one because he's kind of put in a really bad spot. Because, last second shot, doesn't have much creation ability. He just runs a pick and roll, goes to his comfort area, tries to get something off in a pretty botched possession, misses it. It's not on P. Will. That's on DeRozan, and that's on Vooch. That's just straight up inexcusable for what we saw. So, I don't know what it's going to take from Billy and the coaching staff, but this is the reason why I've talked about personnel issues with this team, because I don't trust DeRozan and Vooch to be guys willing to shoot the 3-point shot when they're open, because they're just used to being in the post or in the mid-range and looking for shots elsewhere. When this team, if they're gonna actually change their shot profile, these are the 2 main culprits of the bad shot profile. And this right here, I mean, come on, like, shoot that, botch possession at this point. And the thing is that I understand that you have this guy, and this guy on the floor, and these are 3 very capable shooters, right? And honestly, you're 3 best shooters on the floor, but you can't just rely on all 3 of these guys, especially because you're gonna see the defense really look to zone in, especially on Zach, right? They're not gonna let this dude shoot 3s, okay? So someone else has got to shoot 3s, because typically when we talk about like 4-1 offense, right, there's typically one person that doesn't shoot 3s, and that would usually be the center, right? Well, if DeRozan's the perimeter player not shooting 3s, then Vooch has to shoot 3s, and then he doesn't do that, and so now it's like, oh, we're really condensing the floor because 2 of the main guys on the offensive end aren't shooting 3s. It's inexcusable stuff from what we saw with this Bulls team tonight. I hope it doesn't continue moving forward, because my God, if we're gonna do this, we're not gonna have a good year. And I predicted this Bulls team to have 46 wins. Okay, one of the things in my prediction that was a key factor was saying that I think that one of Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, Patrick Williams is gonna take a major step. Okay, and I honestly think Kobe White is gonna help me with one of my keys, because I think he is going to take a major step. But the second part about it was that I thought this Bulls offense was going to be better than 24th, and tonight they played like a 28th ranked offense, and I wanted this Bulls offense to at least be at middle of the pack, right? And if they continue with the top 10 defense, then in my opinion this Bulls team should win 46 games. But if they're going to play like this, I don't care how much Kobe White improves, they're going to have basically the same season as last season, and honestly they probably only win 38 games. This is just straight up bad. This is bad by this Bulls team, okay? Just awful from what we saw tonight. There's one other unfortunately there's one other play I'm gonna harp on Patrick Williams before I get to the last couple of possessions where Billy Dom had to draw up some plays that I'm gonna talk about, just to kind of grade Billy Donovan's overall drawing out plays at the end, because that's something I have been very critical of in his time here. But if I can find this, unfortunately, I don't know why I can't find this. Sorry, hold on, give me just a second because I'm blanking at where this happened. 7:20, second quarter. Okay, sorry, hold on. It's gonna take me a little bit here. Where are we? 7:07. Sorry about the music. I don't know why. Oh, never mind. We're still playing. All right. Unfortunately, Patrick, you're just gonna have to be the guy I pick on tonight, because in this play and right here, okay, pick and roll between Zach and Drummond. Okay, so I like this action a lot, especially because it's like, you know, we're coming down, we're trying to push pace, right? Look, okay, I don't get what Pat's thinking here, okay, because he had plenty of time to shoot this ball, like straight up plenty of time, and I honestly think Zach's just expecting him to take it, right? But Pat needs to shoot this. Like, Patrick Williams, straight up, he needs to shoot this ball. Okay, I think this is a good shot. I understand a lot of people, especially the, like, you know, Bulls fans that grew up watching 90s basketball, they're gonna say, no, it's a terrible shot. Early in the shot clock, you get a better shot than that. But I'm telling you right now, the best shot is this shot. Okay, get out of like this old head, like, you know, stuff of like, no, we gotta wait and see if we get a post up or whatever and get a mid-range shot. Like, no. This is a very good shot, and you see it all the time in the NBA that teams just take this, okay? Like, it doesn't even matter if it's like a three-point shooter or not. They just take this shot all the time, especially in transition. This is a good shot, and Pat decides not to take it, tries to drive, and I don't know what's up with him, but this is the reason why I've been saying that I trust Patrick Williams more with the three-point shot than to drive, because, or him trying to finish at the rim, because it's stuff like this. His footwork isn't right on this play, and he turns it over. And I'm losing my mind when I saw that, because I'm like, no, Pat, you need to shoot that. Like, just straight up, you just need to shoot that. It's quite simple. And then to add on top of this point, okay, and I think this is honestly the kicker of it all. Like, if you're a person that thinks like, no, that Pat shouldn't take that, Pat, we could get a better shot than that. Let me show you this play. It's a very similar situation. Trying to push the ball in transition, nothing really happens here. Okay, spread the floor, and look, I like this a lot. This is the reason why you spread the floor with three guys, right? And now you see them all start to move. Okay, Javon's gonna go this way, Kobe's gonna move out, and then Pat goes to the corner. This occupies these three guys, right? This is good. So if you're gonna tell me that what the Patrick Williams, like, if you're gonna tell me he shouldn't shoot that, then look, Kobe is like in a very similar spot, guarded by the same dude from the same distance, and he shot it. Okay, it's quite simple, right? One guy didn't shoot the ball, it ended up in a turnover. Okay, the other guy shot the ball in the exact same spot, very similar situation, same guy guarding him, 3-point shot made. Okay, it's just a straight difference in mentality, straight up difference. And this is the reason why I am concerned about this Bulls team moving forward, because Kobe does this, and I trust Kobe to do that, right? But I'm also aware Kobe White right now is being tasked with ball handling responsibilities, and he has to get to the paint and play make, which he had some turnovers tonight, right? Pat, if you're going to be in this offense, right, especially in the starting lineup, then you got to shoot that 3-point shot when it's available to you, just straight up. You cannot be just willing to turn down a 3-point shot and trying to drive, especially on a dude that is probably faster than you. Shoot the ball. The one thing I know about you, Patrick Williams, the one thing I know you can do, the one thing I trust you to do, is make 3-point shots. The one thing that I have full faith in him in doing, okay, on the offensive end. Full faith. I don't need him to be trying to drive the basketball all the time. It's not going to help this Bulls team if he's trying to drive it all the time when he has a 3-point shot. Okay? And unfortunately, I'm going to have to pull up one more possession of his that I'm just like, I just don't understand. I probably went too far. Hold on. So, watch, okay? This guy, I think this is Jalen McDaniels. I'm not entirely sure, but like, look at Chris Boucher, okay? Chris Boucher is way off of him, okay? And this guy went under the screen. He is nowhere near Patrick Williams at this very moment in time. Patrick Williams decides to drive and gets nothing. He gets absolutely nothing at the rim here. And maybe in a couple years, like maybe this is a shot that he'll finish, okay? But right now, I know for a fact he's not making this right now. Just straight up, because I know that he's just does not have the footwork, or it's either the strength. And honestly, it might just be a confidence thing with him, but I just know he's not making that shot right now at this very moment in time, as of right now in 2023. Okay, again, a couple years, it's probably a different story, right? But the part that it bothers me a lot more when I see then on the other end, or let's see here. No, it's not this. Let's watch this play. It's the exact same play. It's the exact same play. Look at this, okay? Look. Guys off of him. The dude went under the screen, and Pat's wide up for a three-point shot. And I know he can drain this. I'd much rather have him shoot this ball than look to try to drive, okay? If the defense is basically allowing you to drive, that's one thing, okay? Then go ahead and try. But on both possessions, his defender went under the screen, and the hedge man, or the center in the pick and roll, was backing off of him. Okay, if that's gonna happen for Pat, then he has to just launch a three-point shot. If they're gonna disrespect him and go under the screen every single time, shoot the three. I don't care. Shoot it. Shoot the ball. Shoot it. Because again, I know you can make the three. That's all I know you can do. I know you can do it. And look, man, I understand Pat had a game against Denver that looked pretty good, especially with some drives to the basket. Especially, I think his last made shot was like a really good overall, like, finish at the rim in a pick and roll situation. I get it, but I'm also aware that he shot 49% on layups last season, and I have just seen consistently that his footwork just isn't there currently. And it really bothers me that I looked at two very similar plays, right? In the same, they're basically like 2 minutes apart, right? And one, he decided to drive. The other, he decided to actually shoot the ball, which I think is the best thing that he can do. Just shoot it both times. I don't care if you went 0 for 2 in that situation. If you miss both threes, I'm not blinking an eye. I'm just like, hey, that good shot, good job. It's all mental. It's all things that we're looking at. I'm like, hey, this could be better. This offense could be so much better. Paul can stop playing like a coward. It's so frustrating, man. And look, here's the thing. Am I pronouncing your name right? And is it Wakas? I think a lot of people would say, right, that Patrick Williams, if he drives, like, they want to see him actually go attack the basket, and that's their way of in their thinking, saying like, oh, look, he's being aggressive. But in my opinion, it's not that. To me, it's just, I need you to shoot the three ball more, because what you did against Milwaukee, right? We're gonna pull this up, okay? I know in that game against Milwaukee that you decided, hey, I'm not going to be going to the basket because, one, Brook Lopez is playing, but most of his shots came from three-point line. He took 6 threes out of 9 shots, okay? And that's in 22 minutes. And I'm not shocked that most of his made shots were from 3, okay? Like, he went 1 for 3 in the other areas, and he went 3 for 6 from 3. Like, it makes a lot of sense. And then in this game, okay, it's like he took 13 shots, right? But he only took 4 threes, and he shot 50% from 3. But why would you go and try to take other shots? Why would you even think about driving? Okay, there are a lot of guys in this league that are not necessarily like a JJ Redick or a Kyle Korver in a sense, right? They're not, they're not those types of dudes where it's like their entire build is straight up just like, I'm taking threes, right? But there are a lot of guys in this league that don't really try to attack the basket and are straight up just 3-point shooters, and they have a lot of success off of it, okay? And it's funny to me that this one dude that called out the Bulls for saying that they're too hesitant in taking 3-point shots and is currently on this team and has made a career out of it is Javon Carter. Okay, this dude doesn't take shots at the rim. He took 52. Sorry, that's white. He took 52 shots at the rim last season. He took 72 layups. Okay, literally all of his points are from jump shots, and 344 out of his 565 shots from last season were from three. Okay, this dude has made a career out of it of being a 3-and-D guard. He doesn't take shots inside, right? He is all about shooting the 3 ball when he is just even semi-open, barely open. He'll take the 3-point shot because that's what he's meant to do. Okay, there are a lot of guys out there in the league that just aren't that comfortable trying to go into the lane and trying to finish in traffic, and look, that's perfectly fine in my opinion. I have no problem with that from Pat, but like I said, it's all about him just being willing to take the 3-point shot, and this entire stream has been is me showing him hesitating to shoot the 3 and trying to drive, and it has been a turnover or a bad shot, or me showing you back-to-back plays where it's the same plays. One he decides to drive, gets blocked on, and the second one he shoots the 3, makes it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And so, look, I don't exactly know what's going to be happening with the starting lineup moving forward, because I truly do think that this was kind of a sign tonight from Billy that he played Torrey Craig 26 minutes and Pat only 14 minutes till the fourth quarter started, right? Like, I truly do think that this is a sign from Billy Donovan that Pat is probably going to be coming off the bench here. But I could be wrong. My thing also about this is that we saw both times in both halves, okay, that when start of the third quarter, that Billy took out Patrick Williams with basically like after 4 minutes, right? Like he got like the earliest hook I have seen for a starter, honestly. I mean, even when Jerrion Grant was on this Bulls team and he would basically start a game and then never play for the rest of the game, right? He would still play 8 minutes still, and then he would get benched for the rest of the half, right? Pat got the quickest hook I've seen, and it honestly, it looked intentional. It didn't look like Donovan pulled him just because like he didn't think Pat was playing well. Like, I honestly think he pulled him because that's the game plan with him right now, is to pull Pat early. And in my head, I'm just like, why the hell would you even do this then? If you're just gonna have Pat be playing in the second unit, right, and getting a quick hook to start the game, then just put him on the bench and just have him play in the second unit, right? Like, there's no reason to have Pat start for 3.5 minutes and then come out then. It just doesn't make any sense. And I honestly do think that Torrey Craig has looked better with the starters in general. I also there was a lineup out there today that it was Zach, Vooch, Craig, Carter, and I think it was Io also. I'll have to double check the fifth guy, but I really like that lineup out there. I liked it a lot. And we still really haven't seen Javon Carter play with a lot of the starters yet. And it's something that I do want to see still, so I don't know what Billy's thinking, but that lineup out there, when like the one I have posted on the screen here, like I like that lineup a lot. And we saw them actually with that lineup kind of make a run back in the game when they were down a good amount of points. So Billy has a lot of thinking to do before the first game on the 25th, because it's now the fourth game of the preseason's over. We're about to head into the fifth game, and I don't know if the Stars are going to be playing in that. It sounds like the Stars will be playing, at least from what we've seen. And Alex Caruso has not played the last 2 games. So Billy's going to have to make a serious amount of decisions coming up here about what's actually going to be the rotation and who's going to start. And I think he has his mind made up that the closing lineup for the games, okay? Closing lineups, it's Kobe, Zach, DeRozan, Craig, and Vooch, okay? It does not seem like Patrick Williams is going to be closing. But are we going to still start with this lineup that we're seeing? Who knows, man? And I like Billy to think about it. So yeah, I'm sorry about my rant about Pat and about some of the other things tonight. It's just a lot of frustration, in my opinion, tonight. So, you know, if you're watching the VOD or you watch this now, I appreciate you kind of hanging with me through all this, but this is the reason why at least from the Denver game and then now into this one, I have my concerns. I seriously do have my concerns about this Bulls team moving forward, especially on the offensive end. So Minnesota game better be better. It has to be better. And I truly hope it is. Let's move away from some of the negative stuff, and I want to look at a couple things that I thought were like big positives from this game, because it's not a lot, like I said early on. I think that a lot of there was just a lot of negatives in this one, unfortunately. I hope the team is still working out their chemistry and everything, and not just kind of thinking, oh, this is the norm for this team moving forward. So we'll see. But this play by Zach here, I was very, very happy to see this sort of play by Zach. So rebound, he's pushing. Okay, I like this a lot. He's pushing tempo. Other guys got to run. I mean, the one guy that I can so far trust to run this preseason in the starting lineup is Kobe. Because if he's running, right, if he has the ball, then Zach's also running. But if Zach's running, then he's also running. But the other three guys haven't really ran too much. This play here by Zach I like a lot. So he actually in this play, okay, did something that I haven't really seen from Zach in a good amount of time. Okay, Zach's left hand has always just kind of been like a little bit of a inconsistent thing. And I'm not necessarily talking about his finishing with his left. Like, I do think his finishing with his left is pretty solid in a sense. It's not perfect, right? But he can still get better with his left hand finishing. But this play right here with his dribbling with his left hand, I haven't really seen Zach kind of really do this in a bit here. First off, what Zach's doing a lot in preseason, I don't know if he's going to get this opportunity in regular season, because preseason's preseason. But Zach's doing a lot of, like, he kind of pushes it quickly, and then he'll kind of slow down, just kind of read the defense, and then he just goes, right? He shifts gears, goes full throttle, and then he's able to get to the basket, because the defense is still kind of out of sorts, which is just really good stuff from Zach. But in this play here, this left-hand dribble, okay, pull out, left hand, just dribbling hard and trying to get to the basket, this is good, because we've seen a decent amount of times with Zach that this would actually be a turnover, right? Where the ball's poked out or something, right? So this is good. I was really happy to see this from Zach. And then the other, I think it was another layup for him. Oh, sorry, this is fourth quarter. Whoops. First quarter. So I know Zach had a dunk. There's a dunk. And then this one, I think we're gonna go to the end of the first quarter here. It was another one of those possessions that I was like, oh wow, that was actually really good by Zach, because I actually thought that he might turn it over, because I have seen Zach have these like sort of like turnover moments in these scenarios, and this is one of his like quote unquote flaws, but it does not take away the rest of his game, right? But this also just might be a testament of just Zach being fully healthy. So gets the rebound, here we go, we're pushing it, this is good, I love this from Zach. So there's a little slowdown. We saw that little slowdown, and then bam, he just goes into basically fifth gear. And watch, he goes left, right? That's left, and then he is full out in traffic, right? There is just guys surrounding him, and this is usually where we see him turn it over, right? It's like at this moment right here, we would see Zach turn the ball over. And I was very happy to see that he didn't turn it over. He just flat out muscled his way through and finished with the left, right? And honestly, in my opinion, he got fouled on this play too. So this is really good to see. And again, this might just be a testament of just Zach being fully healthy, which we haven't. Again, I don't think we've seen like a fully healthy Zach in quite some time. I know that he looked really good after the All-Star break last season, but even then, I still think he kind of have some like little injuries here and there, and there's probably something nagging at that point, but I think this is like fully healthy Zach. So this is a really, really good finish, and just good decision making and good drive and good ball security from him. So this is good. I was happy to see this. And then last but not least from Zach, I understand that people are not going to like the shot that Zach took, but I was just like, hey, I genuinely do not care about the shot he took. Because I'm all in for just shooting threes, honestly. I am. Where is it? Not this. Not this either. What? Where did it go? Am I in the wrong quarter? Oh, actually, it might have been the first quarter. I'm just not remembering. Okay, yeah, it was the first quarter. Sorry. Okay, so I think this is the play here. So Zach here in this play, and this I understand people are not gonna like the shot, but let's watch his left hand, right? Again, left-handed dribble for Zach has always just kind of been an issue with him throughout the years, and this to me, in my opinion, was really solid. So pick and roll right here is where I would see typically Zach lose the ball, right? When he does the right to left crossover through the legs or just simple crossover, his left hand typically does not have the ball security, and then guys typically poke at it, and then it goes out of bounds, right? But we even saw OG Anunoby here, who's a very good defender, has good hands. He poked at it. Zach didn't turn it over, right? He didn't. The OG didn't even get a hit on the ball at all. And yes, people are not going to like the shot. I'm personally on my, hey, you know, Zach's in a second unit offense. There's not much creation on the floor. I'm honestly fine with this shot. But he had ball control over it. That's like really good to see, because you know, a lot of people really harp on like Jaylen Brown for not really having a left hand, and I honestly think Jaylen Brown's like the most egregious in terms of like a really good player that just honestly only goes right and can only go right. I do think Jason Tatum has really worked on his left hand. Zach has been a guy that I've also kind of noticed like he does go right a lot, but he does have that ability to still go left at moments. But if his left hand right now is looking this secure in terms of ball handling and also the ability to finish, this is going to make Zach even more of a lethal scorer, and I've already said that he's a very lethal scorer. So I'm very happy to see this from Zach overall. I know Zach doesn't typically always kind of say during the offseason, like, hey, what, like when people ask him, hey, what did you work on? He just kind of says, you know, I just kind of refined my game, you know, worked on stuff that I'm already good at to make myself better. Like, he doesn't really say anything, right? But the years that we've seen with Zach when he's had a fully healthy offseason, he has always added something, right? I honestly, I've always said this about Zach. When I first watched Zach to where especially he is now, like, I understand his ball handling still isn't amazing, right? But in terms of when I first saw Zach play on this Bulls team to where he is now, his ball handling has improved drastically, right? Because he never really even had any sort of ball handling when he first came into the league. And I honestly think it was the first year with Lonzo, with DeRozan. Like, so Zach went from averaging like 28 points per game, you know, when it was still Wendell Carter, Larry Markkinen, and others on that team. And then the Bulls had the big offseason, right? Zach's ball handling from that year where he did score 28 to then the following year, and unfortunately he was injured by the end of the season, but I noticed a big difference in ball handling. He still had his turnover moments, but it wasn't like what we saw in the previous year. So Zach's always going to continue working on this stuff, and I understand it. Like, again, he's not the best ball handler, but if his left hand is becoming more secure, then it makes him really, really deadly, and I'm here for it, honestly. I hope to see more of it. Other positive stuff, okay? See here. I think it was this play. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll look through it. Yeah, okay. Sorry, we're gonna back this play up, all right? So let's do a full out, just kind of look at this play, because this is like typical Bulls right now, okay? This is kind of like the Bulls offense in a nutshell. And I like to see what we're seeing from this play, specifically from the decision making from Kobe White, because I think Kobe White is doing a really, really good job of making just good decisions, right? I know tonight he had some bad decisions overall, but that came later in the game. Also, I hope he is fine in terms of his leg, because he did have to come out of the game. But this is what we're going to see a lot from this Bulls team this year, okay? So screen here, Patrick's going to go down here, and then as he's down here, pick and roll between Kobe White and Nikola Vucevic, okay? This is typical, right? And the whole reason why, if you're new about this and why this is new for the Bulls offense, the whole reason why you put this guy down here is so that when you run the pick and roll at the top of the key, there's more space, right? Because then you don't have like two shooters like over here and here, because that leaves defenders taking away this side of the floor, right? So the whole reason why you do this little rip screen, go down into the middle of the lane here, is to allow more space for this pick and roll up here, okay? And if you watch like the Boston Celtics, they do this all the time. Boston does this all the time with their pick and roll sets. So this is what happens here. And you see here that Kobe has a lot of space to work with. Like there's no defender over here because there's no shooter over here, right? And so Pat kind of has to make a decision. Like he's kind of reading what's happening up here in a sense, okay? And he's like, okay, so which way is Kobe going to be going, and which way do I have to go, right? And so he sees that, okay, Vooch is going to get the ball here, so he's rolling down this way. I think Kobe just makes a really good decision here. He sees, okay, Thad is kind of backing up on this play, but then he has Pascal Siakam to help on this, and my man is behind me on my hips, so Vooch is rolling, which is what I want Vooch to do more this season instead of fade, right? I want Vooch to be rolling hard more, or you're standing here at the 3-point line. Like no fading to this area. Like this is where Vooch likes to hang around a lot after the screen. Don't go to the mid-range, okay? This is good. I like this a lot. Thad's late to get back to him because Kobe did such a perfect job of making the right pass at the exact right time to set up Vooch for this sort of shot, and Vooch does a little floater up and in, okay? This is good all around. Now, before I go off this play, let's pay attention to what was happening here. As the pick and roll was going through, right? Because what we're going to be noticing a lot is what's the weak side action, okay? So as we see Pat's going down, here's the screen and roll, right? This is all really good. You can even kind of see what was supposed to kind of happen here. Pat has to kind of read this, but DeRozan's kind of coming in, and there's typically a screen, right? There is typically a screen here for Pat to come off of, right? I think, unfortunately for them, this play just kind of develops too quickly. But, you know, other than that, it's pretty solid. And then Zach moved up from being here to here. I talk about this a lot when it comes to spacing, okay? The reason why this is so important, okay, because let's say Zach stayed here. Then Scotty Barnes could just kind of stay here. And then, if necessary, he would be able to come on over. And we all know the corner is the shortest 3-point shot. So Scotty Barnes is much closer to it being in help position if Zach stayed in the corner. So it's important for Zach to actually move up here to make sure that Scotty has more room to cover, because if, let's say, Scotty does like full out commit and help, then he has more ground to cover if Vooch throws his ball back out to Zach. So this is good overall spacing here by this Bulls team. It ends up being a good shot, good decision making overall. So that's some positives, and Vooch was kind of living off this all night, especially because the Raptors kind of went with some small ball lineups. I've talked about this a lot. If Vooch is going to have a small dude on him, okay, if they're going to run a smaller lineup, then what you do, instead of posting up Vooch, you run the pick and roll, because that puts more pressure on that defense, because the defense doesn't have a rim protector to protect the layup, or if Vooch gets the ball in the middle of the paint, there's no rim protector to block his shot, okay? That's how you take advantage of Vooch's size if there is a small dude in a sense on him. So Thaddeus Young is obviously 6'8", 6'7", whatever he is, right? And he's playing center. This is how you take advantage of his size. You don't post up Vooch, okay? Because especially for a team like the Raptors, they're just going to come over and double him, and then they're just going to be able to recover easily because of their length, okay? That's not what you want to do, especially against a Raptors team. You need to run the pick and roll, and Vooch needs to roll hard and take advantage of his size by getting a good shot in the paint. So that's the whole reason why we see this with this Bulls team, is running the pick and roll is much more efficient, a much better option if Vooch is the smaller guy down low. If Vooch gets a mismatch and is able to seal his man down low, that's a whole different story. Then throw it to him, obviously. But if Vooch is just being guarded by just a smaller center, this is how you take advantage of it, okay? If you guys are typing in the chat, I can't see it, so I don't think the chat's glitched, but just letting you guys know. I don't think anyone has put anything in the chat. But if you guys are typing, then it is glitched, so I can't see it currently. Let me actually just pop out the chat just in case I'm not going crazy here. Oh yeah, look, there's only anyone's chat. That's fine. So yeah, this is the reason why like I've been imploring that Vooch rolls, because I think last season we see him fade back to the mid-range shot. He just has to get away from that, man. He just straight up has to. So I liked seeing this a lot from the Bulls tonight. Unfortunately though, like I said, I pointed out a couple of things. Bulls just need to shoot threes when they're open. It helps everybody if you just shoot threes when they're open, right? I don't know what it is with some of these guys on this team, but man, Pat, man, like I want Patrick Williams to really work out, because I do like his game. I like his overall potential. And like I don't think Pat is gonna become an all-star. I truly don't. I know a lot of people are looking at him and it's like, oh my god, Kawhi Leonard, and I think a lot of us kind of knew that wasn't gonna be the case, but we would like to see a lot of work from Pat, and like a lot of impact on the game, because he has that ability. He can guard so many positions, and his three-point shot is so important, and we would like to see him be able to finish things inside very effectively. But at the bare minimum, okay, if he's not gonna be featured in the offense, and he's not gonna be getting a ton of shots, then you have to be taking efficient shots any shot you get, and you have to be making the right decisions, because when you get that ball and it's that time to make a decision, you have to make the right one, or else you're not going to be trusted, right? And honestly, unfortunately, it relies heavily on him to kind of see where this offense kind of goes, right? This is going to be something that we're going to have to keep watch of with Pat, because Torrey Craig has made a career, honestly, of making the correct decision when playing alongside stars, right? He played with Jokic, right? He also then, if I'm not mistaken, he went up to Milwaukee and played with Giannis, and he obviously was playing in Phoenix last season. So Torrey Craig is a dude that is trusted amongst many to be making the right decision. Now, it's funny I say that, because I threw him under the bus in this string, because he, in my opinion, he turned down a three, but we typically don't see that from him. And honestly, that was the only mistake I saw from Torrey Craig today, was not shooting that 1 3-point shot that I highlighted. And you can make an argument that you look at it all, okay, when we look at the box score for the rest. Oh, sorry, this is Milwaukee. Sorry. When we look at the rest of the game for Torrey Craig, like, Craig is not the best 3-point shooter. Like, I understand he shot like a career high last season, but he's not going to hit that mark again. But he wasn't hitting his threes, but he was still taking them. And, he shot 2 for 7. It is what it is, right? He's still taking the 3-point shots, and my frames are dropping. Hello? I don't know if you guys can hear me. I have dropped 1600 frames in less than 60 seconds. Great. Not sure why. Okay, we're coming back up. All right, now my bitrate is skyrocketing through the roof for some reason. I don't know why. This connection is poor though. Okay, let's see. I'll just play music for now, just to have some noise while this is all happening. My internet is clearly not having a good day. Okay, hold on. Now, I think I've stabilized now. Oh, nope, never mind. Nope, it went way back down. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. I'm changing some settings here just to try to see if I can stabilize this, because I'm not entirely sure why I am dropping so many frames. I'm gonna guess it's internet issues. I'm actually doing an internet test right now, and I'm not 100% certain what's happening. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm seeing it. Now it says my internet is. I'm barely even downloading anything. It's that bad right now. Huh. Okay, I'm stabilizing now. Okay. Hi everybody. If you refresh stream or if you need to or whatever, but if you're somehow still on the live feed, then you should be seeing me now clearly and not no bad audio and no drop frames. So I do apologize. I don't know what exactly is going on with my internet right now. I did change the setting in OBS, so maybe that also helped, but hopefully the internet kind of stabilizes itself. Nope. As I just said that, it went back down. Crap, man. I don't know. I'm testing something on my phone right now just to see if it's. Yeah. Okay. Wow. All right. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. It's like it's. Oh, okay. Hold on. I've stabilized again. I don't know, man. But right now the internet is like. My internet is like so bad right now that like I'm trying to load up apps on my phone and it's not even loading. Man. Okay. Due to what is happening right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and end stream. I do apologize that I have to end stream this early, but I know I've stabilized now. If you guys are watching me right now and seeing this, I know I've stabilized, but I think it is probably best if I do end stream here. Okay, so I just tried to open Bleacher Report, and I tried to open it 2 minutes ago, and it finally just opened. Like, that's how bad the internet is right now. So yeah, you guys should be seeing me right now. Once again, I do apologize for this, but I think it's best if I end stream right now. So thank you guys that have come out here and supported me, and have come to the streams. I'm dropping frames as I say this, so it's a good reason. Yeah, I should end stream. But if you guys can hear this though, I just want to say thank you guys a lot for all the support. You guys are awesome, and you guys are just such a great community that we're forming here. And I'm really happy to be heading into the season with you guys as a community. I do apologize for this. I have not had this much of an issue in terms of my internet before when streaming. This has happened in the last 2 streams, unfortunately. So I hope this doesn't continue. I don't typically have this issue at all, so this is abnormal. But before I go ahead and sign off here, hit the like button on the stream. Helps me out a ton. If you're new to the channel or know people that would like this channel, hit the subscribe button. And tell people to subscribe. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. We're almost there. And I just want to say thank you guys once again. So, not sure what's going on with the internet, but Bulls did lose tonight. Not good offense. Not great to see from the Bulls on the offensive end. Obviously, the Stars did not play all the minutes, so that kind of is why the Bulls did lose this game. Bulls are going to be facing the Minnesota Timberwolves on Thursday at the United Center. So I will be streaming after this game on Thursday. So about 9:30, expect a post-game stream to come out, and I'll be streaming then. All right. Thank you guys a lot once again, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.